Midland, Odessa. It's time for the drag races. Penwell Knights Raceway presents Funny Car Chaos. Friday night and Saturday, May 20th and 21st. Wild 200-mile-per-hour ground-pounding funny cars. Mind-blowing jet-powered dragsters. Gear-slamming gassers. Heads-up door slammers and more. Kids 12 and under get in free, and every ticket gets you in the pit. It's high-octane family fun at Penwell Knights Raceway. Exit 101 on I-20 west of Odessa. May 20th and 21st. You just gotta be there. Presented by Spell Paving and Wulff Pumps, and locally by Schufelt Rig Services, Chase's Diesel Service, Mears Mazda Volvo, and WSLS Racing.
Yes, you've got to be there in Odessa this weekend, but we're glad to have you right here for Chaos Live. I'm Lee Kraft, the pit reporter for Funny Car Chaos and the voice of Chaos. There, looming over it all in the tower, Mr. David Rattan. Man, we've got a good show lined up, and we've got a great race to partake this very weekend.
Yeah, we do on both counts. And going out to Odessa is a nostalgic kick. It'll be our fourth trip out there for Chaos. And, of course, the track dates back to the 60s. And for whatever reason, Penwell, going back to the 60s and 70s, all anybody called it was Penwell. And so when they revived it, Gary and his group out there, when they revived it, Penwell Knights Raceway, it just brings back memories of so many. Actually, when I think of Penwell, I think of funny car shows from all those years ago. And it was a place where plenty of things happened, through the years. But it's a great facility. It's a great place to be. And like I said, it's our fourth trip. Race 33. It's going to be the 33rd time there's been a Funny Car Chaos event. And, I'm looking forward to it as we've got a good group of funny cars coming in to run in the three different classes. And plus we've got a total of 8 classes plus the jets. And it's going to be a very busy time. It's going to be a good time. I've seen some videos from people already talking about that it might be a little on the warmish side out there Friday. I think there's a cold front coming in Saturday. So, it'll probably only be like, 85 or something like that. But JB and me will take care of it in the tower. We'll take care of everything like that. JB, good to see you joining in tonight.
Also, the ride-along guys are going to be out there as well in Odessa. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, Proud American Motorsports is going to bring their 2 dragsters so that people can get an opportunity to take a trip down, go eastbound down the drag strip at Penwell Knights Raceways. The track runs west to east, and that will be a blast for so many people to get the experience. Lee, I was noticing this year that since they've been bringing those cars out, they've kind of turned up the wick a little bit.
They're not slow. Yeah,
no, they're not slow at all, and they're even faster than they were last year. So people are getting their money's worth, and of course, the scoreboard shows the elapsed time in mile per hour through the 660. That doesn't necessarily mean they're off the throttle at 660. There's a lot of shutdown area at Penwell Knights Raceway, and I know the Mitchell guys there. They really want to deliver customer satisfaction. And so, you can see the folks when they come out of the car, the smile is from ear to ear and they can't get it off their face until Thursday. And sometimes longer than that, but it's going to be a blast for so many people to come out there and get the opportunity to ride in the 3-seater or the 2-seater and experience Funny Car Chaos, West Texas style.
It is definitely going to be a good time. Now, for the show tonight, we have got 2 great guests lined up. Jordan Ballou and Jade Cook will be on with us. Chris Graves may very well be able to pop in and chat with us for a few moments. But, David, a little bit on Jordan and Jade before we have them on through the show.
Yeah, well, these 2 are defending champions from last year. Jordan has been in 6 final rounds in his career in Funny Car Chaos. Jade's been in 5 final rounds, and both of them were in final rounds last year at Penwell. And with Jade winning the B field and Jordan winning the C field out there. So they're coming in. In fact, we have all three defending champions from 2021 returning to Penwell for this event coming up this weekend. As Kirk Williams got the A field win out there, actually had to wait until Eddyville to run that final round against Ken Singleton. The most amazing thing happened at Penwell, and we talked to the locals, and they really don't see things like this before, but there was something coming out of the ground that it was water, and they just rarely get that at Odessa and Penwell, but it just happened to come out of the sky just in time to keep the final round from being run last year. But anyway, so all three winners at the Penwell Nights event last year will be back there in Odessa this year, and with the opportunity to defend their championship. And all three of them, of course, in the hunt for the season championship. And that's going to be a big deal. Of course, Jordan, he's been his first experience at Funny Car Chaos was all of our first experience at Funny Car Chaos at that race in 2017 at North Star Dragway. Jordan and his family and such a terrific group. They came in with their Nova, and of course the Nova has been replaced by the Camaro. But Jordan's been to every single one of the Funny Car Chaos events, save Amarillo last year when the child was being born. But he can certainly get a pass for that one. But they have been, we'll talk about this when we get to talking with them, with Jordan. But he's got an A field win, a B field win, and a C field win, and two
That's
races.
Impressive.
Yeah, it is, and two of the races he's won. He won the A field in Odessa at the inaugural, which was it wasn't a points race. That was a cold night, but he won the A field. I guess is that right? Yeah. Anyway, so Jordan has won two events at Odessa, and then Jade won there last year, as Jade won Penwell and she won Mocan last year. So like I said, they're coming in, and of course Jade's got one of the world's most unique funny cars,
certainly,
with the nitrous combination, and we want to give everybody the chance to learn a little bit about that from the driver, and so it's going to be fun talking with them and finding out what's on their mind coming into West Texas.
Now, David, you have been out there to Penwell Nights Raceway plenty of time. So what do possibly a new fan coming out to the track, what can they expect? Like, they got good burgers, there's a good spot in town to, grab a bite to eat. What's the track layout like? What's the place like for a fan coming in?
Well, on the ad, it talked about exit 101 west of Odessa, and it's very picturesque because you're heading west on I-10 or I-20 before it reaches I-10, and you don't actually top a hill. You actually get to a place where it drops it down into a valley, and off to the left you'll see Penwell. It's far enough away that you're not sure exactly what it is. It'll look like an RV park because there'll be so many transports and RVs out there for people out there to see the races and to camp out and spend the weekend. But it was a quarter-mile track, and with plenty of shutdown area. They have plenty of real estate, and so the job that they've done out there over the last several years, Gary Gardenhire and his team, man, they have put so much time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears and money into bringing that place back. They got it open a few years ago and unfortunately experienced a fire that set them back. But they rebuilt with a determination and a whole lot of faith. And there's not a place like this. It's got some covered grandstands, and it's got it's got a fair amount of grandstands. There's plenty of place to park and tailgate along the, along the fence out there. But there's concessions. They have a full menu. I had to take a picture of it because it's like, it's more than burgers and hot dogs. It's got a lot of stuff, and there's probably going to be additional vendors that come in. They take care of you. They have hot food. They have cold drinks, and they've also got, I believe it's either snow cones or slushies, and but there's plenty to eat, and there's lots of new paving in the pits. I'm not sure how much new paving has been done in the pits, but there is a lot of pavement out there, and everything is very close. So it's going to be a very much an up close and personal experience, regardless of whether you're on the pit side or the spectator side. It's really right there where the action is.
Stellar. Well, we're all looking forward to it. Don't want to look over this comment from JB Brooks. He says the track record by Kinsley is still a 374 with a 4 at 209. I'm sure we'll see a new record holder this weekend. That very well may be reset.
It might. Now, that's a stout number. And when it came up on the board, I mean, the place went nuts because Kevin's Wild Child Mustang is what he was driving that time. He's, drives a lot of stuff, but he brought his own car that time. And man, that 374 was something else. It was people were going crazy, high-fiving, and got the new track record. And of course, that's a huge deal. Will we see it broken this time? I don't know. We have some plenty stout hot rods that have already demonstrated that they can run that kind of number.
Yes.
And now one of the things is altitude. Odessa is not as the altitude is not as high as, say, Amarillo, for example, but it is dry air, and it is certainly not sea level. And there's depending upon what the weather conditions are, how much boost you put into your car, or, what your setup is. But that 374 and 209 gives you an indication that track prep will be on point. They take a great deal of pride in making sure that our racers have a great track to get down, and it does give the racers the confidence that they can come up and bring a combination and put something down. And like we talked about it, once you hit the finish line at 660, I don't know. I don't remember exactly. I know there's at least a half a mile past the 1320. So there's a lot of shutdown area. You can go way fast and still have time to bring it to a safe stop. That last turnoff is half a mile or something like that. So it's a long way out there. And we're getting into a run of tracks, like Kearney, Nebraska is kind of the same way. They've got long distances there. Sometimes you don't even have to pop the chutes because these tracks are so long. So anyway, but it's going to be fun. This is a great track to go to, and some great drag racing fans from a way back, and of course Eastern New Mexico fans. They'll be coming in because they love them some drag racing, and it's not like they don't have tracks in Eastern New Mexico, but they don't have funny cars, and so they don't have funny cars that they get to see very often. So having 20 plus funny cars come in and be close enough that you can get there. And plus we've got, the other classes. Shoefelt has really stepped up, and Shoefelt rig service out there in Odessa, 7.0 index and a 6.0 index and what they call a small tire CHAOS. And then Chase's Diesel Performance and Harlow Salmon's bringing a junior dragster shootout. That's one of the things been really popular out there, is the number of junior dragsters that will show up at this year. If it's the same as previous years, quite a few of those little half scale dudes, guys and gals, and they are, they're real racers, and those are real race cars, and they're plenty serious about it. And so, thanks to those sponsors for making it happen. Bucky's Media Works and WSLS Auto and Performance also stepping up to help us make this thing happen. But 33rd time there will be a Funny Car Chaos. Fourth time out in Odessa. It's going to be a good time.
Well, a man that has definitely been there before, Jordan Ballou. We've got him in the waiting room. Well, it's not a doctor's office. It's a green room or a backstage or the digital hold place, whatever you want to call it. He's back there. We're going to take a break and bring him on and chat with him, a competitor this weekend at Odessa and Funny Car Chaos.
Spell Paving Services provides professional customer service and performance for your next industrial or large-scale private paving project. From parking lots, roads and driveways, to seal coat, chip seal, concrete and asphalt, there's no job too big for the team at Spell Paving Services. Serving a 500-mile radius from Dallas-Fort Worth, Spell Paving Services has you covered. Call 214-384-3056 to get a competitive quote today and tell them the Chaos sent you.
And as we welcome Jordan Ballou to the Chaos Live show here on May 18th, hit the like button. Jordan, good to have you on, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we're really glad that you could work us into the schedule, because you are running all over the country. You and your mom and dad and the family are showing up at racetracks all across the country. How's that feel? How's that feel? What was it, St. Louis you were at last weekend?
Yeah, it was actually, I think, 2 weeks ago. Kind of didn't expect it, but we have the 9 Chaos races on the schedule, and then I've booked 3 other match races throughout the year. So we've actually been pretty busy. And St. Louis was the first of the match races, and it was a lot of fun.
It looked like it. And you got your name on that distinguished list of 200 mile per hour. How'd that feel?
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that was unexpected. We were actually driving up Friday night, and my dad had his phone out, and we've never ran the car quarter mile, and he was doing all these calculators on his phone trying to figure out what he thinks the car is going to run, and we were expecting like a 720 at 180. And when that first pass was a 696 or 698 at 198, we were like, okay, let's go up there again. Maybe we can get 200.
And there it was.
Yeah.
So you mentioned in your social media post, like you in particular said, wow, the chutes really pop at 200 miles per hour. So take us inside the car and experiencing that. You know what it's like, but it was sure you made mention, and therefore it's like, hey, this was even beyond what I was used to.
Yeah, I was not expecting that, because normally I'll only pull or have one chute come out, and this time just pulled both of them, and it hit really hard. I was not expecting it. It just kind of, I felt like I was going to come out of my seat because it hit so hard, but it was different.
I can imagine that. They talk about the G-forces at launch, but the G-forces on decel with 2 parachutes in the breeze, especially a 200 mile per hour breeze up there. That's something you will always remember. Well, yeah. So many of the people that follow Funny Car Chaos, of course, they've known about the artist formerly known as Fabio, because you've been in all the races, but your family, it's a family operation, and so give us some history. How long have you been driving, and before you started driving, a little bit more of the family history of Russ and Janelle's racing.
So my dad, he's been a mechanic for like 30 years, probably 40 years, but he's always been working on cars, always had cool cars. He's had Novas, Camaros, and we lived in Independence, Kansas, and several times a year we'd end up at Mocana at Test and Tune. And in the late 90s, my dad got put in a front and dragster, and he kind of got hooked. And I think we had 6 or 7 throughout the years. But in 2000 and I want to say 14 or 15, I had a blue Corvette that was narrowed and tubbed, and I've always wanted a funny car. and this chassis popped up on Racing Junk. And I talked to my dad. We thought if we could sell the Corvette and buy that chassis, maybe we could buy a funny car body later on. And at this time, he still had his front engine dragster. So I sold my Corvette. I bought that chassis, and then I ended up buying that Nova body. And we put it on the car. And at this time, I was married, had 2 kids, and my dad had his front engine dragster, and we both kind of talked about it, and it was like really kind of pointless for us to have 2 blown cars. And, we don't have the crew to help do maintenance on it. So he sold his dragster and took his motor and transmission out of his front engine dragster, and we stuck it in the funny car. And we ran that for a while. And I don't really know how I got stuck driving it, because my dad has always driven the front engine dragster. I drove a handful of times, and I guess he doesn't like the way the Altereds drive or the funny cars. And so I guess since I've always wanted one, he's like, you're going to drive it. So we've been doing it, since 2017. And a couple times I've approached him and asked him if he wanted to drive the car, because he's never driven it, and he hasn't done it yet, but I think he's going to at some point this year. But like I said, it's a family or whole operation. It's just me and my dad. We do all the maintenance on the cars. Like at home, it's just we're doing all the engine building. We do our own transmissions. We painted the car. We just do everything in our shop at the house. And my mom, she does the backup girl duties, and she also makes sure that we're all fed. And then my wife is watching the kids back of the trailer and getting camera footage from the stands and stuff like that for my videos.
So everybody's got a role. And now, so you got the funny car running in 2017, which was the first year of Funny Car Chaos. Now, how much had you run? How much had y'all run it before September when Funny Car Chaos came around?
I think we ran probably 4 or 5 events that year. We mainly ran with the Central State Superchargers, and they were mainly in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. And we went to several of their events and never did good. We were struggling with the car, trying to get it to run good. And we actually made our first decent pass in qualifying down in Denton in 2017. And so that was like the actual first good pass and our only good weekend we've had all year, just because we struggled with it all season.
Well, the reason I asked that is because you guys came in, and I mean, there were people that knew who you were, but we made so many new friends there that first race with people that had funny cars that we had no idea. And you guys came in, and I mean, off the trailer, zoom right down the middle, and wind up in the final round against Andy Mears. And of course, those classic shots from the inaugural Chaos, there you guys are. And I mean, what was it, this at the finish line? I mean, it was so close. I mean, it was a great way to begin what has become Funny Car Chaos. And you and your family certainly played a pivotal role in that success. And so, for me to hear that and go, well, and to hear that the races before Chaos weren't that successful, surprised me a little bit, because you guys came in and I mean, really put on a great show and made it look like been doing it forever.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was luck. That first qualifying pass, we ran, I think it was like an 83 or an 84, and was not expecting that. We figured we would go down and be struggling running the 5s like we had all year. And so when I went up there and went that 484, I was like, it's probably not going to get any better. So we actually sat out the second and third round of qualifying because we didn't want to hurt the car or anything. And we kind of, I don't know, over the years, anytime any of our cars start running good, they probably are going to blow up pretty soon. So we're kind of, I'm not saying we're superstitious, but it gets scary whenever they run really good for us. But that first round, it was we didn't expect to qualify, and then to make it past first round, we were excited because we're like, okay, we're going home with a little bit more money. And then we make it past, I think it was second round. We had a bye, and then the semifinals rolled around again, and somehow we managed to get through that, and got to the finals. And if I would have had just a little bit better light, I think we could have caught Andy. He went a 476 and we went a 477. So it was a really close race, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was terrific. So anyway, you're number 9 in points right now, and 2 of your wins have come at Penwell, and that's where we're headed. So, what are your thoughts going into a place where 2 of your 3 victories have taken place?
Well, I love Penwell for one. It's got to be my favorite track just because we have such good luck out there, I guess. That A-field win back in 2019 was unexpected. And in 2020, we were actually struggling with the car. And I think we actually could have done better had we not had our issue with our burst panels. We kept getting the car too lean, and on the burnouts, it blew the burst panel. So I think if that hadn't have been our issue, we probably could have gone a couple rounds in 2020. And then 2021, that was not expected because that was only that was the 3rd race of the year because we went to Ennis and won a 41, which was a career best. And then we went to I-30 into the match race with the Jet Dragster. And so the next weekend was Odessa. And we were just hoping to go down and qualify. And, we ended up in the C field. And I don't know what it is about Penwell, but it seems to like us and we like it. So hopefully we have good luck this weekend too.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be fun. Now, you guys, parked the Nova and eventually sold it, and got the Camaro. And for those that haven't seen it, or if you've only seen pictures of it, pictures don't do it justice. The paint on that car is out of this world. Now, you guys did that, right?
Yeah. 3:00 in the morning, like January 5th, I think. My dad had been trying to talk me into doing a lace paint job for years. And I never thought it would look good, but he finally talked me into it. And it was actually this Saturday we had my middle daughter, her birthday. And so after her birthday party, we went over to my parents' house and we started sanding on the car and prepping it to paint. At about 3:00, we started laying the lace. And so I don't think I got home till 5:00 in the morning, but it turned out really well. I was wrong. Dad was right. And it looks great. So he likes to change the paint on his cars like every couple seasons. So I think he's happy with this one. So it might actually stay a little longer than 2 seasons. But it definitely is a crowd pleaser. A lot of people seem to like it. So that's what we were going for, and we're happy with it. So
yeah, it's a beautiful car.
Thanks.
It is that. It's always a contender for best appearing. All right. So the rest of the season, you guys are amongst those that really don't miss. Is that the strategy this year, is to chase every race and see how far you can get in the points?
Yeah. I'm still kind of kicking myself after Lufkin because if I hadn't a red lit, we could have moved up pretty significantly in the points. But hoping, the plan is anyways, to make every single Chaos race. I think Cordova is 15 minutes longer away than Odessa is. So it's a 10-hour drive to Odessa. It's going to be a 10-hour drive to Cordova. I don't know if the whole family is going to make it up there. It might be just me and my parents. But if we can get the funding and gas prices go down or something, we can bring everybody and hopefully do good, and I can finally get that winter circle picture with my daughter like I wanted.
Yeah. So that's one of those goals that you have as as a family man and as a dad is to get everybody in the picture.
Yeah, that's because right now, we won the A field in Odessa. We got a B field in Denton, and we got a C field out at Odessa again. And so, that's 3 wins. But at Odessa last year, Macy was, I think, 3 or 4 weeks old. And so we left her home, and it was just me, mom, and dad. And so, we won that one. It was like, needed that picture with her. So I want to get that sometime. And I would like to eventually win enough events that, everybody in the family gets a trophy.
Well, you're working your way that direction for sure. And you've got, Lee, I'm sure that you've seen this, but Jordan is a human highlight reel, because between racing jet dragsters and match racing and all of the funny car chaos exposure that he's getting, plus he does some of his own social media, and it's good for the sport. It's good for the series. It's good for Ballew Thunder, and man, we're delighted to have you as an important part of our series.
Yeah, we're very happy and fortunate to be a part of the group. We've raced with a lot of groups over the years, and this has been the most fun we've had. That's why we keep coming back. Everybody is like family. And, I did not expect in 2017, to have all the friends I have through racing. And I've got several people, I can text anytime, and we can chat and call. And I'm really blessed, to be part of the group, have all the friends I have, and really appreciate it.
Well, that's great. Later this year, if everything works out in Walls, Mississippi, you're going to get a chance to see your old car back out there competing with you. Yeah,
and we actually talked to them in Ennis, and we actually hadn't met them before, but they've been messaging me over Facebook and trying to find out what they could about the car. And they, we actually happened to have the old drive shaft we used. And so we brought it down to Ennis and ran into them and ended up giving that to them so they could, get another piece of the puzzle together so they could get the car done quicker. I'm really interested to see what it looks like after they paint it. I've seen a lot of pictures of cars they painted over the years, and they do a lot of detail and really good work. So I'm sure it's going to be a really pretty car when they're done.
Oh yeah, and that hunk of burning love, man. It's gonna be red, white, and blue, and it's actually a paint scheme. You probably already know this paint scheme that they had on the Street Machine, and so anyway, we get a chance to see those guys when they run with Dirty South Gassers periodically, and so dreams come true. And I don't know if it was your dream to become well, you already mentioned that it was. You wanted to have a funny car. And you and so many others are having the opportunity to make some dreams come true, getting a funny car and having a place to race it. And not only having a place to race it, but having a place that you absolutely love coming to, and where people are happy to see you there and you're happy to see them there. Man, Jordan, I can't tell you how we appreciate you being another one of the guests on CHAOS Live. And it's been really, really fun having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I was glad that I got the call to be on here. So I'm very happy I get to be on here with you guys.
Well, good to have you, Jordan. And I'm going to send you away with this last question. David's regularly reminding people from the tower, you are the dry hop king. Thank you for the dry hops. But why? Why for you? I mean, we need more of the guys doing it. Dry hops are just cool, but why have you taken up the mantle and said, I'm going to give the people the dry hop?
So I don't know if it's 2015 or 2016, we were actually racing with the Central State Superchargers, and Sean Belt had his Metal Mafia fuel altered, and he always did dry hops. And watching videos from the 80s and 90s, whenever they used to do it back in the old days, all the funny cars, and then actually getting to see Sean do it, I was like, I want to do that one day. And we actually built the funny car, and I didn't care if it was fast or slow or whatever. I just wanted to do dry hops. And whenever, Funny Car Chaos came around, I was like, I don't know who all is going to do dry hops. I don't even know if people still do them anymore. And so, down in Denton, we started doing the dry hops, and it just slowly grew to what it is now. And people know me as the dry hop king. And it's pretty cool to be the guy that's, I guess, leading the charge on bringing dry hopping back. There's a couple guys that do it. I know Daniel was doing it down in Odessa last year. And I just think it's a cool part of the sport that, you don't see anymore. But I just want to do it because it was fun. So
there you go. That's why we're doing all of this. It's because it's fun.
Right. It is fun, and there'll be at least 2 of you dry hoppers, because I think Charles Ware is going to be from Amarillo down.
There you go. There's another one.
So maybe you guys will be side by side dry hopping with each other.
We could do that. That's actually up in Havana. I think it was 2018. We were racing Joey Haas, and we tried to time it to where after we did our burnouts, I would do a dry hop, he'd do a dry hop, I'd do a dry hop, just kind of have a dueling thing going up to the tree. So it's always fun whenever you get to do that.
Awesome. Well, Jordan, look, thank you, man. And we're going to let you go. And then after the break, we're going to bring on the boss man, Mr. Chris Graves.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Jordan.
Bye. See you there.
All right, folks. The man, the myth, the legend that has brought us the chaos, Chris Graves, right after this break here on Chaos Live.
Larice Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Larice Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Larice insures race cars on and off the track, trailers and equipment. Larice even pays racers contingencies at the fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Larice Motorsports Insurance today.
And the man that is already on location for the Chaos, Chris Graves. Welcome to Chaos Live.
What's up, boys? How y'all doing?
Fantastic. Awesome. Glad to see there's a signal out there.
There is. You got to talk loud because it's windy, so I'm having to hold the phone really close to my face. But it's a great day here at Penwell Nights in Odessa. I just flagged down Gary. He's on his way here to join me real quick, track owner. He doesn't know he's about to go live on Facebook, though, so we'll surprise him. But they've been getting this place whipped into shape, and we're looking for almost 25 funny cars this weekend. He's coming up right here. I want to throw him on live Facebook, and he doesn't know it, but come here, Gary. Come here, Gary. Join me here. Get up. There he is. He's ready for chaos. He's been busting his butt. Him and his crew have been after it all week. This place looks beautiful, so we're looking forward to having a good race this weekend, guys.
Thanks for coming and supporting us, guys.
Is it warm out there?
Say again?
Is it warm out there?
It's not bad. It's a dry heat. Everybody's worried about the heat, but, man, it's dry. We're used to the humidity in Dallas, so it ain't bad. But, the forecast, if you look at it, it's going to cool down on Saturday, and that means we're going to be comfortable and we're going to go fast. So true. Well, we know that the track's going to be just right, as it always is. We were talking about track records earlier. That 374 and 209 might be in jeopardy this weekend, and we've certainly got some cars capable of doing that. Yeah, there is. This weekend there's several first timers. If you noticed yesterday's announcement, Matt Bynum's bringing his Nitro Funny Car out of Indiana, tuned by Del Worsham. So, hello, take notice of that. There's the picture there. Yeah, that's been a hard-working car there that I've known about, but they just let me know yesterday that they were officially coming. Mary Reap's bringing her Grim Reaper out for the first time this year. We saw her a little bit last year. Danny Smith's making his first race of the year out of Colorado. We've got another Chance Biffle out of Oklahoma. Is a car that's associated with Phil Cook and the Nemesis, who's our next guest there with Jade Cook. They're making their Chaos debut this weekend. So there's a lot of flip-top floppers ready to haul some butt this weekend. And Gary and his team have made this racetrack ready for us, and we're ready to have some fun.
Man, that is good that we've got so many new people coming out and debuting and being part of the Chaos. And that's not all that's new with Chaos. Chaos finally has got that store set up, and you can get merchandise of the Chaos brand.
Yeah, and there's 3 online exclusives on there. You can't get them at the track, so check out the chaosstore.com. There we go. That's my favorite right there. Very cool.
Very cool.
Of course, we got event shirts. Corey and the team, and Car Chicks is already here. Jeanette's here. Drag Daddy's Garage will be here. The Ride Dragsters will be here. So there's no lack of entertainment this weekend in Odessa. If you're in West Texas and you're looking for something to do, Funny Car Chaos at Pinwheel Nights is where you need to be.
Definitely.
Whatever your plans were, cancel them and get to PKR.
That's right. We're going to get back to it, guys. We're glad we got to check in with you. Good to see you guys. Thank you for doing everything, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Yes, take care, Chris. We'll see you. All right. Well, David, look, she's been waiting for a while. We see you back there, Jade. We'll bring you on in just a few moments. A lot to talk to her about. Another car coming along, her combination, and she finished high in the points last year and did a great job. Might be a bit of a rocky start to this year. We'll get her opinion on that and what she thinks, where she's at currently, and what having Jordan and having Jade on tonight, I think, is another great way of showcasing across drag racing for sure, but in particular for Funny Car Chaos, that it's not an old man or woman's sport. It is the whole age range, from young to old, from middle-aged to kid. I mean, everybody is participating in this sport called drag racing and in the Chaos, and it's good to see.
It is that, and like you said, just two sterling examples of something of a youth movement in nostalgic drag racing and funny cars. Love to see it.
All right, folks, we'll take a break, and after the break, Miss Jade Cook, driver of the Nemesis funny car, right here live.
Not many race car shops can say they've been in business for 60 years, but we can. Here at S&W Race Cars, we specialize in welding and fabricating, designing and building door car, dragster, funny car, and alter chassis. We provide water jet cutting and other production services. We have several thousand roll bars and roll cages, custom tube bending, fabricated 9-inch forward housings, and rear frame kits. We run a full-service machine shop, and so much more we couldn't squeeze into a 30-second commercial. Give us a call at 1-800-523-3353 or visit our website.
Jade, how's it going?
Hi, it's good. How are you?
Doing well.
Great to have you on Chaos Live, Jade, and we appreciate it. Lee and I were talking earlier, and of course, you are one of 6 drivers from the great state of Oklahoma that have graced the winner's circle, as Oklahoma has more wins than any other state in Funny Car Chaos by 10, actually, with 25 wins for the state of Oklahoma. But you, in your rookie season, got in the winner's circle more than once, finished 3rd in points, made it look like there's nothing to this deal. Tell us about your first year in Chaos and what it was like getting in the funny car.
Well, my first year in Chaos was actually also my first year in a funny car. I had only been out in the car, I think, twice before that first race in Ennis. And we definitely had a better season than we were expecting. I think after my first win, I was like, all right, well, I'm set. Like, I'm happy. Like, I won one race and I'm happy with that. And then we made it to the semis again, or not semis, to the finals again and runner up. And then we won again. And at that point I was just like, is this even real?
Well, I can imagine that was your debut was rather auspicious as you just kept on. And I wondered if people were seeing that nitrous purge and if it was shaking them up, but I don't really think that was the case. you guys went A to B, which is a huge part of being able to get a win right. And you just went A to B time after time. So last year was your first year in a funny car, but it wasn't your first year in a race car. And it certainly wasn't your dad's first year to tune some race cars. Tell us a little bit about that Cook family heritage.
Oh boy. Well, my dad has been racing, I feel like probably since he could drive. He got the bug real early on. I think he started racing when he was probably somewhere around 18 or 20, and he's been consistently competitively racing ever since. And as soon as I turned 8, I was like, all right, well, it's time to get me a junior. So I raced juniors, and up until I was old enough to race door cars, and I raced a handful of door cars, and I had a blast. I had a Corvette that I ran in small tire for a long time, and he helped tune it. It was a nitrous car, which is kind of the what got us to do this nitrous situation. We were comfortable with the nitrous, and we thought, hey, we could just throw that same combination in a funny car and see what happens, and that's what we did. And honestly, it's a whole different ball game driving a funny car than it is driving a door car, but it's a whole lot of fun.
That is cool. Now, you've got the only one there is, so everybody's wondering, what's the combination? I mean, what's in, like Kathy Mattea says in 455 Rocket, what you got in that thing?
Well, it is a 632 big block Chevy. This year we have 2 kits of nitrous on it. We haven't really got to play with those as much as we were hoping to. Hopefully we get to do some more with that second kit at this next race, but it's got the power glide and just a normal little, like what you would put in a door car, basically.
So the combination just right out of the small tire car and right into the funny car, and man, it took you to victory circle a couple of different times. So other than racing, okay, so you raced junior dragsters. Any school activities? Were you in sports or clubs?
I played a little bit of soccer, and I actually was a decent swimmer, but about halfway through my sophomore year, I think I dropped all my sports and just focused more of my time on racing.
I don't blame you.
When you know what you want to do, do it.
Right. So, Jade, this year, looking at that rookie year, so phenomenal, into the races that we're in this year, where do you think you all stand? Ennis was obviously very interesting. Baton Rouge had to be a letdown. And, where does Lufkin rank? And what are your hopes for the race here near Odessa?
Well, honestly, Ennis surprised all of us because last year at Ennis, we didn't qualify. So we came into Ennis like, oh, we're just going to go to watch, basically, just like make the qualifying passes. And we didn't even expect to qualify, but we got lucky. And because some other people got not so lucky and so many people broke, that we got bumped in, and we ended up going to the finals. And we were over the moon ecstatic about that. Like, never would have expected that from that race. Obviously, Baton Rouge was kind of disappointing. The car pretty much has always gone A to B. We've really never had any real problems with it, but the rear end broke, and that was honestly the weak spot on the car. It was something we wanted to fix over the winter after the 2021 season, but we just didn't get around to it. And that definitely bit us at Baton Rouge because we did go out and not even get to make the third qualifier. So that kind of was a setback, but I'm not mad about Lufkin. I was happy to go a couple rounds, and we won at Odessa last year, so I'm hoping we get some of that Odessa luck with us this year.
Yeah, you did, and it was a convincing performance last year too, and so something about West Texas and that nitrous car. I mean, it was fun to watch. So you guys are not only bringing the Nemesis. I guess there's a family car joining the fray.
My stepbrother has apparently seen how much fun this series is and wanted to partake. He's raced a couple of door cars himself back in the day, and he wanted to get back in it. So we got him a funny car, I think, last year, and they've been working on it, and they finally got it together. So I guess we're going to debut it this weekend.
All right. So your dad's going to be rather busy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're kind of short-staffed for 2 cars, but we'll make it work.
Yeah. You do what you got to do, and well, we're looking forward to seeing both cars and you and the family coming out and enjoying the racing. So you're 10th in points. After finishing 3rd, you're working your way back up, and because of attendance, you should definitely move up a little further. So chasing the whole thing this year?
Well, we don't typically plan on going to Eddyville or Cordova. Is that what it is? The other one that's further for us. But last year we went to Eddyville because I ran my mouth and told Dad that if we won Odessa, that I wanted to go to Eddyville. And he was like, all right, I'll make that bet, not thinking that it would happen. And then we won Odessa and we made the trip to Eddyville. So I'm thinking about having that conversation again. The Eddyville race is actually on my birthday weekend, and I kind of want to be like, hey, you know what I want for my birthday? He's back there, so he can probably hear me right now. I'm going to be like, hey, you know what I want for my birthday?
Leverage.
Let's go racing.
All I want for my birthday is a trip to Iowa.
Yep.
Well, I hope that works out, because we sure do like seeing that bright yellow Nemesis car taking
and that
on
would
all
help
comers.
us in points.
What's that?
I said, and that would help us in points.
Oh yeah,
So.
Yeah, it would. So, what else is on the horizon for this Duncan, Oklahoma team? You guys doing chaos mostly, and that's your racing, or?
Well, I still have that small tire vet, and we had kind of talked about, like, what are we going to do with the vet now that we're spending so much time on the funny car? And there was a little while where we were like, well, we might as well just sell it because we don't have time. And then I think it was 2 weeks ago, my dad came up to me and was like, you want to put the vet back together? So I guess we're going to throw an engine in the vet and go toy with it on our weekends off of Chaos.
Mm-hmm. Now, rumor has it that you guys have talked about an even bigger combination. You got 632 in there right now. Any truth to the rumor that you might be going a little bigger on the power plant in yours?
We have a bigger engine, and everybody has been trying to convince us to put it in, but we have some major fitting issues that I don't know if we're going to be able to solve and get it to fit the car. So I don't know that will ever happen.
More nitrous.
There you go. That second kit.
Yeah, second kit. There's more kits than that too. So have people been hitting you up about how to make a nitrous funny car work? So thinking about doing what you've shown can be successful?
Honestly, I'm surprised by how many people just aren't interested in it. Obviously, the turbo guy came out, and now there's another turbo car that's probably going to be running soon. And with how much luck we have, I don't know if people just don't think that they can do what we're doing or what. But really, nobody's been interested in doing the same thing that we're doing, and we're not mad about it.
It definitely allows you to be unique.
There's only 2 people that finished ahead of you last year. I kind of thought people would be falling all over themselves to figure that way out. Oh well.
It does seem like for whatever reason, for nitrous, if you started with nitrous, you stay with nitrous, and it's like it even runs through the family. And the people who run nitrous have been doing it forever. The Pat Museys, the Ricky Smiths, and so on. I mean, it's just this whole line. So has that been the main power adder of the family in the Cook planned?
Honestly, not really. My dad used to be really big into blowers for a really long time. It didn't, I mean, I guess he was a little bit of both. He kind of just covered all his bases. I feel like we have a Pro Charger car, and he used to run blower cars, and we mostly ran nitrous with a couple of door cars the past maybe 10 years, and he's been doing this for 40 or more. So it's not super new, but he's definitely done all of the things.
Have y'all done the nitro and nitrous combination? That was done at one time. I mean,
No, no, we haven't. I think we're scared of nitro.
That can definitely be a interesting experiment. So,
And it's expensive.
Yeah, rather expensive. But well, we certainly thank you for being a part of Funny Car Chaos and for being a part of Chaos Live tonight. I know that a lot of people have been wanting to get the story on Jade Cook and the world's only nitrous boosted funny car. So thanks for spending some time with us and sharing the knowledge. We look forward to seeing you over at Odessa. And good luck to you defending your title from last year.
Thank you guys for having me.
good to have you on, Jade. Look, enjoy the rest of your evening. And folks, as we take a break, we're going to let Jade go, and me and David will wrap up the show.
If you can race it, chances are we make a piston or connecting rod for it. Oh, we have about 4,000 to 5,000 different part numbers on the shelf for connecting rods and pistons. So about half of what we sell comes right off the shelf, and the other half is custom-made parts. I am a firm believer in distribution and everybody getting their cut, doing their job, and getting rewarded for it. So we'll see how that goes in the future.
Well, David, as we come toward the end of another Chaos Live, two great guests, Jordan Ballou and Jade Cook. Good to have the boss man chime in really quickly from the very track we'll be at this weekend. David, looking to this race, my eye is on Jeff Cameron in particular. That is an individual, it seems like he's been stepping up in performance. The car was a bit wounded at Lufkin, looked like a freight train funny car out there with a pinched ring or something, and I definitely wonder what they found, what they fixed, and how they're going to run this weekend.
Yeah, but you're right. They have really run well this year, and I know that Jeff would really like to close the deal in West Texas, being a West Texas boy. And so coming out to Odessa and doing it there, probably the only place he might rather. Well, Jeff is going to be looking forward to winter circles wherever he goes, but to be able to get one in West Texas would certainly be a little extra special to him and Mary and Meg, and I think you're right. Looking forward to what they've got the opportunity to do. Just looking at that top 10 in points, number 3, talking about the small tire background of Jade and Phil Cook that we were just talking about. Smiley Cordero was making a very nice transition to funny car, and yes. They're up in 3rd place in points. And of course, the nitro car from Washington, Donald Knobloch. But yeah, there's. I think you're right. I think that. Now there's. Lurking right there in number 11, it's going to be interesting. Chuck Lofton has done well in Odessa in the past, and I know that they are trying to work some magic and bring some of that nitro performance back. And I know that they would really love to uncork something special this weekend. So between Jeff and Chuck, Smiley, there's 3 really to keep your eyes on, and that's not all. There will be.
We didn't mention Kirk Williams. Obviously they're going to perform very well. We just had Jade Cook on and Jordan. They perform very well. So it does sound like, though, from what else you've mentioned in the show and on the phone with myself, that Odessa seems to be a place that things can be shook up a bit. And I definitely hope we get to see that again this weekend.
Yeah, it's a place where you can and usually do see things that you don't normally see. There's just something about that mojo. If people that are familiar with the book and the movie Friday Night Lights, talking about that high school out there where they have the team with the mojo. There's some crazy mojo out there in Odessa, and it's played out on the drag strip too. Now, Kirk Williams has assumed the role of apex predator. I mean, everybody knows that when that guy unloads the car, that he's the guy to beat. So, we're talking about people to keep an eye on. 200 proof kind of goes without saying, but they're at the top of the food chain right now, and 7 runs at the 3.7 second zone, within 300s down at Lufkin. Yeah, they are certainly in the catbird seat and somebody to watch. But there's others that really have their eye on getting up there and playing in that rarefied air at the top of the chart.
Well, hey, talk about being top of the chart. If you want to be top in fashion, it's the CHAOS store. TheChaosStore.com. David, you can even get flags there, like flags and hats, and there's exclusive shirts like this one and this one and this one on the website. Now, Chris, he said his favorite was this red one. That is cool. I like the black one. Which one do you like the most?
I like what's that gray one? That one would be the one that I would pick right there.
That's solid. See, yeah. So look, 3 people of Funny Car Chaos are like, I like this one, I like this one, I like that. So there's one for everybody to like.
And these 3 designs are only available online. There's more stuff there, but those 3 are. You can't get them at the track.
No, you can't get them at the track.
Only available online. And what they've also got at the ChaosStore.com is remember the picture that we took at the Classic with that 60 plus funny cars? That picture is available for sale on the ChaosStore.com. So you've been wondering, people have been wondering, where do I get those? Because talk about one for the ages. That's one for the ages. The place to get it, the ChaosStore.com. They've got them now and they're ready to ship.
And you can also find links to that particular place on the Facebook page, even on the YouTube channel as well. So it's easily accessible to buy that epic print showing off all those funny cars at the Texas Motorplex. Well, David, look, anything else to highlight going into Penwell Nights Raceway and our next Funny Car Chaos event?
There is so much. There were rumors of people coming back driving funny cars, 2 people that we have seen in Funny Car Chaos competition in years past that we haven't seen this year. We're talking about getting in somebody else's funny car and showing up at Odessa. Just got confirmation that neither one of those is going to happen, but keep your eyes open because, some pretty neat stuff is in the works. We were talking about new racers being at Odessa. Looks like there's going to be 6 names added to the points list. So far, we've had 58 racers earn points in competition in Chaos this year. And at the end of this race, it looks like there will be 64 because there's 6 new racers making their 2022 debut out there. There's some beautiful cars that you have not seen. And, I can't wait for you to see Mary Reap's car. That Grim Reaper machine is out of this world. And it's not the only one. We've alluded to Del Worsham bringing a car out with Matt Bynum, and those guys are bringing a hot rod that's going to be great to see. There it is. And so we've got Nancy Matter is going to be coming out, and we've got several others. that are making their debut. The Turbonator car is, so we will have the turbo car. I thought we were going to have 2 turbo cars, but we still will have the one. So every different type of funny car will be at Penwell Knights Raceway for race number 4, the Spell Paving Services Funny Car Chaos Championship Tour. And one of the guys that was going to drive a funny car that is not going to drive it is going to be there, I'm told. And so all of you Andy Mears fans, which is all of us, might get a chance to see Andy Mears and Mears Mazda Volvo of Lubbock. They'll be coming down, and we'll get a chance to catch up with him. But it's going to be a family reunion. It's going to be a great time. There's a pre-party on Thursday night. We'll have a great time for visiting and a great time for reconnecting and getting acquainted again, talking about what has been, talk about what's to come. And there's so much that's going to happen at Penwell Knights Raceway, Odessa, Thursday night, Friday, Saturday. The racing is Friday and Saturday. Man, if you know anybody out there, and if you're anywhere close to the Permian Basin, you need to get there. You really need to get there.
Get there, as JB said, get those VIP passes and soak in the chaos, the one and only Funny Car Chaos. David, look, pleasure as always to be on the show with you, chatting with Jordan Ballou and Jade Cook, an appearance by the boss man, Chris Graves. Cannot wait to get to the track. And I know I'm going to have a busy weekend with all these storylines throughout the pits, and I'm looking forward to getting them.
Well, great job, and great job on Behind the Chaos. I know that I'm not the only one who really appreciates the work that you're doing out there in the pits, and getting the stories from our competitors and finding out more about what's going on in the world of chaos. So thanks for what you're doing. Enjoyed being with you here tonight.
Folks, this has been Chaos Live. Until next time, keep it chaotic.
Midland, Odessa, it's time for the drag races. Penwell Knights Raceway presents Funny Car Chaos. Friday night and Saturday, May 20th and 21st. Wild 200-mile-per-hour ground-pounding funny cars. Mind-blowing jet-powered dragsters. Gear-slamming gassers. Heads-up door slammers and more. Kids 12 and under get in free, and every ticket gets you in the pit. It's high-octane family fun at Penwell Knights Raceway. Exit 101 on I-20 west of Odessa. May 20th and 21st. You just gotta be there. Presented by Spell Paving and Wulff Pumps, and locally by Schufelt Rig Services, Chase's Diesel Service, Mears Mazda Volvo, and WSLS Racing.